Hello, everybody. I'm Kerry George with CIBN Connect, and today I'm going to be talking about why your goal setting hasn't been working. And I'm going to start out by saying goal setting and setting and forgetting just doesn't work. That's not how goals work. There are 7 reasons why your goal setting may not be working for you. And I'm going to talk about today how to fix those 7 things, so that you can actually set goals that actually come to pass and you accomplish the things that you set as goals. Okay? It's incredibly important that you do goal setting correctly, or you'll just be spinning your tires in the mud. Because this is what happens. A lot of people, they'll say, well, I've tried goal setting before and it just didn't really work for me. And when I look back on it, I can't even remember what it was that I said I wanted to accomplish. And I wrote them down. I put them somewhere. I never looked at them again. These are things I hear about goal setting. Another thing is people feel like, well, I didn't accomplish goals last time I set goals, so I felt like a failure, so I don't want to do that again. Well, I'm here to tell you today, first of all, if you have set goals in the past and you didn't accomplish them, you're not a failure. You're just normal, okay? Lots of people go through that. But here's the thing. Successful entrepreneurs pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and get back on their horse. They don't sit around and whine about the things that could have been or should have been and would have been. That's all in the past, okay? Today is a new day. We are at the beginning of a new period in your life and in your business. And today is the first day of the rest of your life. So let's get with it. Let's start making goals in a way that works. Let's talk about the things that didn't work first of all, and then we're going to talk about how to fix them. I have 7 things I'm going to go through today about why goal setting hasn't worked for you before, okay? The first one is, I may have heard this one before. This one is basically you have to write them down. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, I wrote my goals down. Yeah, well, I want to get to more things that go with this in a minute and why those are necessary as well. But writing them down is the first step. Okay, you need to take your vision and make it plain so that people will be able to see what it is. You'll be able to see what it is. You'll feel good about it. You have to write it down, because when you write it down, there's some finality to it. And when I say write it down, a lot of people like to do things online. They like to put things into their Google pieces, their calendars, their Google documents. The problem with that is you will not see them again. I find if I write things like that online, I don't see them again. And when you write this down, you want to be able to see it from that moment forward. So when you write it down, you might start out by writing them in a book, but that better not be the only place you write them, because otherwise you're going to close the book up and put it on a shelf and you're not going to see it again. And if that happens, then writing them down didn't serve you that well, right? So you want to definitely make sure that you have written them down, and you want it to be in a place where you can see it and where you can look at it again and again and again. And I like to write my goals down once in a book, and then I start taking the little pieces. If I have more than one goal or a variety of goals, I start writing them out on pieces of paper and putting them up in places where I can see them. If I'm reading a book, I'll write it on a little kind of a bookmarker. These are my goals. I'll stick it in the book. I will put them, on my computer. So when I open up the computer, it's so they're on a sticky. I have put it as well on the backdrop on my computer. So when you open it up, like you can see your desktop, I put my goals right there so I see them right away. The problem is you don't want it to become so familiar with it that you look past them all the time. I know people write them on their mirror in their bathroom. That's great, as long as you're not like putting it up in the corner and never looking at it. You might want to write it right over the part where you put your makeup on. Right? So you have to look through your goals in order to actually put your makeup on. And then it might be a good idea to actually wipe them off and rewrite them regularly, so you keep writing them. So this thing about writing your goals down is great, but it's not the only thing, and you can't do it just once and stick them away somewhere. And if you do that, that's why your goal setting is failing, okay? One-time writers, you're going to find those goals 5-10 years from now, and you'll probably find that you did accomplish a couple of things off the list, but you may have accomplished 100% or 80% of what's on that list if you simply wrote them down more than once and put them in places where you could see them. That would be really, really important. Now, here's another reason why goal setting by itself just doesn't work, okay? It's your mindset. If you write down your goals, but you don't do anything about this, okay, the 6 inches between here and here, it's the biggest journey you'll ever have to take. If you don't tackle that 6 inches, here's what's going to happen. Let's say you put down a goal that I want to earn $1 million this year. And right now you earn $20,000 a year. There's a huge difference between $20,000 and $1 million in annual, revenue for yourself or your income. Okay. Huge difference. And the reason that you make $20,000 right now, hear me when I say this, it's because that's what your mindset says you deserve. Hello? We're programmed to live a certain way, receive a certain amount of things. When we try to do things outside of what we're comfortable, that uncomfortable feeling keeps us from moving forward. All of that is mindset. It's all up here in our head, right? And if we don't start dealing with that as we, work on our goals, we'll hit like a glass ceiling. We'll go a certain level, and maybe we improve from where we were. We may be able to get from $20,000 a year to $40,000 a year because we feel like we deserve that. But we will hit this glass ceiling, and we'll just kind of stay there. And we'll even sabotage our efforts from that point on because we'll be feeling like, I don't know if I deserve that. Or something good happens and we're like, well, I don't think I should take that because, it might be some strings attached to it. We're looking for a way out in our mind. We're just got all this reasoning going on in our head and it's slowing us down. Okay. And why is that happening? Usually we'll say, well, I'm just being cautious. Okay. Cautious is another word for I'm afraid. I'm afraid. So what are you afraid of? You got to start dealing with the stuff that's in your head if you want to take yourself to a new level in your goals. Okay. Whatever that is. And it could be anything. I mean, I'm talking about money as an example here, but the same thing is true. I mean, just think about it. If anyone ever tried to lose weight, okay. I know sometimes I lose weight and I get real on track with it and I work it out and everything and I keep it off for a while. Well, that works when I have changed my mindset. As soon as I start to slack off on the mindset, then the weight starts coming back. So we have to deal with what's between our ears if we want to accomplish our goals. And the next point I'm going to give you is actually going to help you accomplish that. Okay. So you want to stay tuned because the next one is we want to develop affirmations. Okay. And this is the reason why goals don't work. We didn't develop affirmations. Okay. Number one, we didn't write them down. Number two, we didn't deal with our 6 inches. We didn't deal with our mindset at all. And number three, we didn't create any affirmations to support the goals that we have. Now, what am I talking about? Well, I have whole videos on how to create affirmations on my YouTube channel, CIBN TV. If you want to go there, there's a very detailed one about how to create affirmations, and you're definitely welcome to watch that, and it'll show you exactly how to do it and how to tie them to your goals, because that's the important part. You see, if you just create affirmations that say, I'm a wonderful person. Good things come to me. My life is good. Well, those are nice affirmations, but they're not going to get you any closer to your goals, right? So for example, if I was trying to lose weight, if that was my goals, then I would say in my affirmations, things like, I am only attracted to food that is good for my body. Things like that. Every cell in my body is vibrating with perfect health. That's a great thing about health. I love to exercise. Those would be affirmations that would support a weight loss goal. Now, if I wanted to create my larger income, I want to grow my income, I want to attract more money to myself and my life, I would say things like that, like I attract money to me. Opportunities for multiple streams of income come to me easily. Money can't stay, or no, I wouldn't say, you never say money can't stay away from you, because that's that affirmation, you hear stay away from you. Okay. So you say money comes easily to me. That's better. So how you word these things in affirmations is really important. And as I said, there's a whole video on that on my YouTube channel, CIBN TV. But if you do not create the affirmations that go with the goals that you're setting, then you know what? Your mindset is not making that migration. It's not changing. And you're not being affirmed continuously in your goal. So typically what happens is that's when you lose the sheet of paper that you wrote the goals down on, and it just kind of disappears. So affirmations that go with your goals is incredibly important. You're not going to get towards your goals if you don't write down affirmations. And then when you're using affirmations, this is also a very important point with affirmations. You have to repeat them out loud to yourself more than once a day. I recommend 6 times a day minimum. Okay. 2 or 3 times first thing when you wake up in the morning, you run through, you say your affirmations out loud. Later in the day, maybe at noon, lunchtime, you have a little break where you read them silently. And at night, you do them again at least once out loud. It's even more powerful if one of those times you take a few minutes and you visualize what it looks like to have the thing, to be the way that the affirmation says that you are. If you do that while you're practicing and saying these affirmations, you'll find it to be very, very powerful. And you'll find that your goals come to you much more rapidly. So that's a way to make your goals happen for you. And if you haven't been, working on writing them down, recreating the mindset, okay, and also, building the affirmations, then you know what? Chances are you're not going to hit those goals. And I want to just mention something else about the mindset thing that just came to me right now. I guess I talk a lot about this in other videos, so sometimes I think you all know what I'm talking about. But you know what? Maybe you haven't seen some of those other videos on CIBN TV. Mindset is really, the changing of mindset happens by who you hang around, what you read, how you spend your day, and how much time you actually pour into the mind. Okay? That's how you change the mindset. And if you don't do those things, you know what? Your goal setting isn't going to work out for you. And I have more coming here, 7 in total. So, okay, how about, and the fourth one's actually connected to this. First one is you must have your affirmations. The fourth one is you must say the affirmations daily. And if you don't do that, not happening. The fifth one also is stopped looking at the goals. I want to get into that a little bit deeper. Okay, so we talked about what happens when you take the goals, you write them down, and then you put them on a shelf somewhere and you forget all about them. People do that with business plans too. Spend 10 grand on making a business plan, then tuck it in a corner somewhere and don't work on it. I don't know. It just boggles the mind. You can't do that with your goals. You got to take it out where you can see it. But I'm gonna go into that a little bit deeper here. At CIBN Connect, we have built a course that's called Quarter Launch, and it is goal setting. It's 90-day goal setting, and we always start out by actually working on your bigger picture, your life goal, your 10-year goal, 5-year goal. We backdraft from there to the 1-year goal, and then the next 90 days. Now, the reason it's so effective at CIBN Connect when people go through Quarter Launch is not just because of all the cool stuff that we show them that they don't get anywhere else in goal setting. I mean, that's just part of it. The biggest reason is that we keep doing it every 90 days. Now, why is that important? Because your goal setting simply won't work if you don't do it regularly. Okay, if you put them up there and you go, I would just do this every January, well, good luck with that. It's like resolutions. It just doesn't happen, right? So that's not how you do goal setting. You do goal setting with the purpose of setting the goals, writing them down, affirming them, working through a process for 90 days, and then revisiting them and adding more and so on and doing that every 90 days. Why do I say that? Because every big corporation on earth does that. And that's why they're big corporations. Hello? And if you want to stay small in business, no income, and suck in big time, then don't set goals every 90 days. You see, Quarter Launch helps our people actually get through all of that and do it every 90 days. Everyone needs to do that. If you don't have a 90-day goal plan that you revisit every 90 days, it's not going to happen. So that is incredibly important. If you stop looking at the goals, it's not going to happen. You have to have these 90-day resets. And you see, for instance, you wrote down your goals the first time and you wrote them on your mirror. Well, if you don't come back and actually do Quarter Launch again, what happens is you've started looking through them or past them and not looking at it anymore. And it's kind of like subconsciously you're closing it out. But when you are coming back every 90 days, You are, again, reaffirming, you're reminded, oh yeah, I wrote that on my mirror and I guess I need to move it now to somewhere else where I'm seeing it again. And without that, follow through, it's just not going to happen. And this is one of the reasons why goal setting just does not work, because we don't revisit every 90 days. And here's another one, number 6, no accountability partner. Hello? So we write these goals down and we put them in our secret place, our hidden place, our little book, and we put the little book up on the shelf. How is that going to work when nobody has seen that? And we don't have any accountability partners. Now, I do recognize the fact that many people have someone in their life who might be negative, who might tear down their dreams. And I don't recommend that you go shouting your dreams out to the naggy Nellies out there who just want to and tear down your dreams, okay? In fact, I personally like to cut those people right out of my life, okay? just me thing. You don't have to. Maybe you think that that's a little over the top, but I'm going to tell you what. They will suck you down. They're like lobsters in a pail, okay? You're trying to climb out of the pail, and they're grabbing you by the legs. They're pulling you back into the pail. They're like, no, we don't want you to get ahead of us. It's silly. You don't want to have dreams. Well, that kind of behavior around you is really destructive to your dreams. So yeah, you don't want to share that information with people who are going to, wear you down and make you feel bad about wanting to accomplish something in your life. You want to share them with people who actually would support you in your dreams. And again, that's one of the reasons why we have found over the years that the quarter launch works really well, because people come to it together and then they can pick somebody else that's in the group to be an accountability partner, and they don't have any judgment for each other on that. They just encourage each other. We do help people figure out, as we're having accountability partners, like for example, if you're trying to go from $20,000 a year to $1 million a year, that's a big goal. That's a huge goal. And you might want to say, well, in the next 90 days, my first goal is to increase by a smaller amount. You know what I'm saying? To keep it realistic, but your accountability partner is there with you to cheer you on, to help you, to lift you up, to encourage you, right? Not to judge you. So, if you overextended your goal the first round because you just didn't know what you were doing, the accountability partner might bring it to your attention at some point. That's a pretty extreme goal. Maybe we, work on something else in the next 90 days and you'll get the hang of it, okay? You know what? It won't take very long to go from $20,000 a year to $1 million a year. All right. I can actually speak from personal experience on that one, because in 2010, I made $16,000 for the entire year. And that's not what I make today. Okay. And in fact, within 2-3 years, I doubled my income actually every year for 4 years in a row. So you can do the math on that. and then life, got better. Things got better, But goal setting was a big, big part of this process, and setting them, affirming them, looking at them again, building a process. The reason we started doing quarter launch at CIBN Connect is because I had done it personally in my own life for a few years already, and I knew the impact of it. I knew how it would make a difference in people's lives, okay? By the way, if you're wondering about how to find out where the quarter launch is, it's at thecibn.com on the event page. Okay, that's where people can actually sign up to take quarter launch. And when you buy the course, you get it 4 times. I hope you're paying attention. All right, because you might go, oh my God, that course is whatever. Yeah, well, you get it 4 times. And you also get membership in a networking organization that's going to help you with a whole lot of other things for a whole year. So there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. But the reality is, in order to make the goal setting work, we know that once is not enough. It's not going to help you. That's why I don't sell a course. It's like, you know what, here, take it one time and, a little dab will do you. Not when goal setting. No. You have to do goal setting regularly. And you have to come back to it every 90 days. And that's how you make goal setting work. That's what big corporations do. You don't see Google going, oh, we'll just set a goal once and we'll see if we hit it. That's not how they operate. And if you're trying to build a bigger business than what you have, that's not how you want to operate either. You want to create goals, work towards them, reassess in 90 days, create more goals, and keep going further again. Okay? And you might say, well, I didn't hit my goals when I did it your way either, Kerry. Well, you know what? If you are trying to set a goal from 20,000 to $1 million, you might not get that in 90 days, but you'll be a lot closer to it than you were 90 days before then. Okay. And each 90 days, as you reset those goals, you're going to find that this actually works. Okay. So these are some of the reasons why it wouldn't work. Okay. And as I was going through them, I've got one more that I'm going to cover, but let's go through the 6 that we covered so far. Number 1, you didn't write them down. Okay. Number 2, you didn't work on your mindset. Number 3, you didn't develop affirmations. Number 4, you didn't say the affirmations daily at least 6 times. Number 5, you stopped looking at your goals. And number 6, you had no accountability partner. Okay? Those are the things that are really going to hinder you from getting to your goals. But now let's talk about number 7. The number 7 reason why setting your goals does not work is because you didn't work. I know, that's a tough one, isn't it? A lot of people are like, no, I tried really hard. Okay, let's talk about what real work looks like. I'm going to talk about a conversation that I've had many times over the years with network marketers and people who are in recruitment-based businesses, direct sales, insurance sales, real estate agents, life insurance agents, so I think what else? Variety of people who would be in professional sales or recruitment-based opportunities, okay? And I would often talk to people in these lines of work, and they would say to me, no, you don't understand, Kerry, I work really, really hard, and I'm just not making any money, and I think the problem is with my opportunity. Now, we could get into a whole big conversation about what's a good opportunity and what's not, but many of these opportunities are pretty good opportunities. They actually do pay what they say they're going to pay, and it runs in a system, and people can make money. And if they look around, they would see others who are making money doing what they do. But here's the challenge. They didn't do the work that actually makes income. I call it income producing activity. Okay. Now they may have been very busy and they may have felt very busy, but they did not do the work that actually created the income, okay? So what kind of work creates income? Well, when you're in any kind of opportunity like that, the kinds of work that creates income is stuff like showing the presentation, meeting new clients or prospects, and then following up with them and getting them to sign up and to make a purchase. Because most of those opportunities, there's a product part of it, and then there's a recruitment part of it. And to be truly successful, a person has to actually build both of those things, not just one. And that's how the money works. So if you're leaving out, the work on the products or the work on the recruitment, you're not going to grow, and your income, your revenue won't go up. But people will say, well, I was very, very busy. And I'll say, well, what were you busy doing? And this is the answers you get back. I was reading books. So they were changing their mindset. Okay, that's not bad. I was watching videos. I was going to meetings. Well, all of those things are great, and they are helpful. However, they're not enough to really increase income because they're not income-producing activities, okay? Income-producing activities create revenue. As I mentioned, there are things like showing your business opportunity, signing people up, getting them to order products or to order services from your company. Now, if you're getting good at those things and you're spending lots of hours doing that, then you should be receiving results. But most times when people say, well, I worked so hard at this, the work that they were doing was stuff that should have been going on in the evenings. Okay, I don't know if you're following what I'm saying here, but during the daytime, during work time hours, when people have the ability to actually be talking to potential prospects, that's when you should be talking to prospects. The only activity you should be doing during your working hours is booking appointments and having the appointments. Okay? Evening time stuff, weekend stuff is watching videos, going to meetings. You should never attend a meeting without taking someone with you. And does that mean, well, I don't go if I don't have someone? No, it means you hustle your butt and get someone to go with you. That's how those things work, okay? And if you don't actually do those things that produce revenue in that type of business, you will get nowhere, okay? So you have to put your work effort into the things that count. Now, I've worked with other people who also, they have storefront businesses, they have, brick and mortar businesses, and they too get caught up in doing all kinds of little tasks and things like this in the busiest part of the day when they could be and should be making sales. Sales is what makes a business grow, okay? Sales is what increases revenue. Learning how to sell is something you do at night, something you do on weekends. Actually selling and practicing is what you do during the day, during your business time hours. You see, and if you're doing that kind of work as you set your goals, then your goal setting will work. But if you are not doing the work that is required, your goals are not going to work. And here's another one I have had people say to me, they'll say, well, Kerry, I'm doing a lot of work and I don't understand why I'm not hitting my goals. And we'll assess what kind of work are they doing and get into all that. And then I realized that they have this mindset, again, coming back to point number 2, that says, well, I tried a couple times today and I didn't get a sale, so this isn't working, and they quit. You know what I'm talking about? So you don't want that to happen, okay? What you want to do is when you're doing the work of whatever your business is that produces money, the money producing work, you want to set your goals like in hours that you work at it or number of phone calls that you make. You don't set your goals based off the results. Hello? Because if I say, I want to make 10 sales this week and I only sell 1 out of 10 customers, I need 100 appointments to do that. That's impossible in a week for most people. But if I say I want to make 10 sales this month, that might be more reasonable if my closing ratio is 1 out of 10, right? Because then I could book 25 appointments in a week. It would be pretty busy, but I could get them done. And probably by the end of the month, I would have more than 10 sales because in all of that practice of doing 100 of them, my closing ratio would go up. I would get better at it. You see, the reason that people only would close 1 out of 10 is because of lack of practice. They haven't actually been in front of customers. And it's incredibly important to practice your craft. You know, I have people all the time, they say, well, you know what? I tried selling that thing and it didn't work. I did it just the way you told me and it didn't work, Kerry. I said, great. How many times did you try? Oh, I tried lots. How many times did you try? Don't ever tell me that baloney without me expecting to be challenged, because I will challenge you. I will say exactly how many times did you try exactly the way I told you? Well, a couple times. Really? With who? Okay, once. I tried it once. Tried it with my sister. She said no. Then the truth comes out. Okay. The reality is, if you've only done it once, twice, 3, even less than 20, then the answer is it's really 0, because you haven't practiced it enough to ever have gotten good enough at your craft to get a yes. So it really doesn't even count. So when you're talking about doing the work that is required to actually go with the goal setting, if I make a goal that I want to double my income this month, and I typically have made, say, $3,000 a month, and I want to make $6,000 a month, I should look at how many sales or how much activity, how much work did it take to get the 3? And then I have to look at, okay, can I physically double that? Because if I can physically double that, that would be one way of increasing my income to the 6, right? So if I look seriously at the work that I've been doing and go, well, you know, I did a lot of work, but really only 20 hours of the work that I did this month created $3,000. Well, if I figure out exactly what I did in those 20 hours and I put 40 hours worth of work into that next month, then guess what's going to happen? My income is going to actually double. In fact, I'll even give you a little even better tip here. Here's a good one. A business coach shared this with me many years ago, and I have found it to be true ever since. If you actually just do an assessment of all the things that you spend your time on, you will find that 80% of what you do brings in 20% of your income. And 20% of what you do brings in 80% of your income. So if you can just figure out what is the 20% that brings in the 80% of your income and double that activity, that would double your revenue in 1 month. Pretty cool, eh? So what you really need to do is just do an assessment. And why does that work? Well, it's because that's the work that actually creates income. So you need to know, what is that work? What does that work for you in your business? Exactly what work? And then you got to drill down on that work and become more effective at it. If you double that work, you're going to double your income. It's actually that easy. Now, some people would say to me, well, Kerry, I'm really busy. I'm running all these other things in my company. Okay, I understand that. Maybe it's time to hire a VA or get somebody else who makes less money per hour than what you would be bringing in if you were doing the work that created the income. For many people, the work that they would be bringing in the income with, maybe it's worth $200 an hour. I know for myself, it's worth $1,300 an hour. That is the math on mine, okay? You might find it's 100, 200, 300, whatever it is. But the point is that VAs, other people who could help you, could be hired for $20 an hour. So you farm out some of the stuff that's taking up all of your time so that you can now focus on the things that bring in more revenue. And that would help you meet that financial goal. So you have to do the work. Now I'm talking about financial goals as I talk about doing the work, but I mean, we could be talking about other goals. You could say, oh, I have a spiritual goal. I want to read the Bible in a year. Okay. Then get out a schedule, a Bible reading, and start following it every night. That's the work. I want to take a course. Okay. I want to learn something. Well, what do you do when you take a course? You join a course or you take a course, you join something online, and then you follow through the steps and you read all the material and you write the tests and you take the course and you get the certification. It's all laid out for you. We're all really used to having things laid out for us. When we take courses that somebody else prepared, or we have a job where somebody tells us what to do when we show up at 9 o'clock and when we leave at 5. There's that hours in between are filled with the things we're told what to do. When you own your own business, nobody's telling you what to do. You have to decide that I'm going to do the work. I'm going to do the work that works. And if you put your effort into the work that actually works, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to start to achieve your goals. So I hope this helped you today. I'm going to run through them one more time. These are the 7 reasons why your goal setting has not worked for you. And these are the things that would actually, if you change this, it would make them work for you. So the first one is you didn't write them down. Number 2 is you didn't work on your mindsets. Number 3, you didn't develop affirmations. Number 4, you didn't actually say the affirmations daily. And number 5, you stopped looking at your goals entirely. Number 6, no accountability partner whatsoever. And number 7, you didn't do the work. And if you turn all those around and you actually change your effort into those 7 categories, you're going to find that goal setting is going to start to work for you. If you like this video, there's more videos about goal setting on our YouTube channel, CIBN TV. You just search that in the search window, CIBN TV. If you'd like to take a course on goal setting that really does work, because we repeat it every 90 days, it's called Quarter Launch, and you'll find it on our website at thecibn.com. On the event page, you can sign up for Quarter Launch. Quarter Launch, there is a fee that is attached to that, but you get it 4 times in the year. You also get membership with a networking organization that's going to help bring you leads and referrals and help you to grow your business in a variety of ways throughout the year. So I think that you'll find it's great value, and it's going to knock it out of the park for you in the coming year. And I hope that, you don't just do it once, that you do it every 90 days and really get your money's worth and grow your business, grow your revenue, change the goal setting in your life, and make it happen for yourself. You deserve to win. So let's help you do it. I'm Kerry George with CIBN TV, and I'm really glad that you were here with me today. We'll see you soon, and I'll be back. See you at CIBN TV on YouTube.